you'd like to talk about to us?
Oh, well, what I'd like to share with everyone is similar to what we've just been talking about. That understanding that we have a mission, and that mission is so adequately stated, because every time I do the wealth strategy presentation, I always read that. Oh, here it is. Hey, I always read that right there in your booklet. And one other thing that I'd like for everyone to start learning, especially we've got brand new people already here. Make sure you watch the Wealth Strategies presentation. It's the one I do with a PDF, but the video says the same thing, except it does it in a lot less words than I do, and much shorter. It's only 18 minutes, and it's a great presentation about why people should own gold and silver instead of just having paper and relying on just having paper. And it doesn't matter if it's currency, stocks, bonds, CDs, annuities, or any other form of paper. Paper is paper. And the stocks, bonds, and annuities, they can go bankrupt. But guess what? That paper can go bankrupt too. And our job is to communicate that to people. And so when we overcome that resistance that we're trying to get them into something, that we're really trying to share some information and we just want them to listen. Take a half an hour, please, just listen to me. If you don't like what I say, that's fine, but I'll leave you with a video and then you can, look at it later. I mean, look, in our story in Hawaii, Jim McClellan joined more than a year ago now. He joined 7K. And George Donaldson, the person I sponsored, the very first meeting, within 12 hours of me joining 7K on November 16, 2016, and I called George to have a meeting at his house on Friday night in Baton Rouge, because I live about 35 miles outside of the city in the, let's say, countryside. And so it'd be convenient. George lives very central in Baton Rouge. And we had 15, I had 15 people show up there. No one else invited anyone else. I invited them all. And I invited more than that, but only 15 people showed up. And how I did it was, it's because every person said, well, Bob, it's Friday night. I said, I know, but it's that important. And anyway, Friday night, it's my birthday. And I'm not trying to get you there to celebrate my birthday. I'm trying to give you a great gift. But if you don't want it, don't come. Well, 15 people showed up, including George and Sandra. Now, I sponsored George and I sponsored Woodrow Venable, but I had all 15 there. I gave away the other people to them. And I said, you will all sponsor one another in one line, and y'all make up your mind how you want to do it, and I'll referee since I had them all. Okay. And so I created a team that had to work together, but then they needed to build on the other side. And on the way home, I called 8 people in different states. 4 signed up before I got home. The other 4 didn't. And they wished they had because they signed up later anyway. But they wish they had done it that night because they would have been at the top of my legs. But Jim was recruited, let's say recruited, sponsored, brought into the fold. He saw the vision momentarily when he signed up. Now I'm speaking to many of you in our 7K Hawaii Ohana team right now. Very excited when they signed in. Jim was just like that. But he spread some seed, he sowed some seed, but it didn't take off automatically. He signed up about 5 people. And then, well, it just wasn't working as fast as maybe it should have. People kept saying no or not and got the rejection. But George kept in contact with him. One of those seeds he sowed was to Gary Goslin, an associate pastor at a church that y'all all know well. And times and circumstances change in people's lives. That's why you put people in the pipeline, like I did with those other 4 that did not sign up. They're all in our business today. So all 8 that I contacted the first time are now in the business. And a couple of them are some of the leads that they've put up on the corporate call of being silvers and new silvers lately. In fact, it took them that long to get to silver. And that's another point I'm about to make to our group here. And I know many people understand the tortoise and the hare story, correct? Everybody's heard about that story. And so that's going to be one of my points that I'm trying to make here, is that don't let yourself disillusion yourself from one of the greatest opportunities that's come around in a century. Because with this company, everybody around the world, regardless of their income status, can truly own gold and silver at the lowest price incrementally. And that's an unbelievable opportunity for people in many that aren't so fortunate to live in America or be part of the American community in some of the first, let's say, world countries of Europe and Japan and Taiwan and Korea, other countries, Australia, New Zealand. But, there are many other first world countries. But look how many aren't around the world. And so we have a mission greater than us. And when we really believe in that mission, and when we grab a hold of that mission, you will go further than you ever thought you would go. And so don't get disillusioned, because what happened is one of the seeds that Jim sowed, Pastor Gary, in February 25 or 26 of this year, he went back to Jim McClellan and he said, "You remember that silver company, that 7K that you were telling me, well, I have some people, we're interested in getting some silver. And if I remember correctly, you could get it at cost. And can you tell me a little bit about it? We want to buy some silver. We need to look at it." And I'm doing it in my words, and Pastor Gary knows exactly the words, not me. But Jim put him in touch with the person who sponsored them and stayed in touch with Jim on a consistent basis without being a pest. So he could call him up and they could talk and then update him and just casually share some information and talk about the products, because he was buying that auto shipper every month. He stayed active. And business was built underneath him. And he had volume. But not enough to encourage him on his own to step out. Well, Pastor Gary had two people that came to him wanting silver, Cheryl and Colleen. And immediately after George got off the phone with Pastor Gary, answering his questions, doing what they needed to do, Pastor Gary wanted to enroll, and immediately he enrolled Cheryl right after that, and immediately Cheryl enrolled Colleen. And so Pastor Gary sponsored Place Fair, kind of like a similar story you're hearing without y'all even knowing that story happened before Pastor Gary, Cheryl, and Colleen. Well, George called me after that, and he says, Bob, I finally got something really kind of, I think, going on in Hawaii. Will you call? He's a pastor, and so I want you to call. I want you to call him. I want you to talk to him. Make sure, let's see if we can really light some fire there. And I said, sure, I'll be happy to. Well, I called Pastor Gary. We had a great conversation. Then we started doing Zooms almost immediately. Well, it's a little different because, see, our time zone is different than your time zone. And then all of a sudden, you know, Cheryl was introducing it to people. Colleen was introducing it to people. Pastor Gary was introducing it to people. And we just had people having interest coming out of the walls. And people were enrolling. And it kind of to me, it seemed like what had happened to me with Wayne Clark, what had happened to me in the very beginning on November 16th. And then all of a sudden we got 20, 30 people. And then we got a lot more interested, like Tarita and Chris and a whole bunch of other people interested, but not ready to make a decision. Okay. I just remember spending 2.5 hours, more than that, almost 3 hours one night on a Zoom with Tarita, answering questions, and she had all the right questions. But, you know, she's experienced, she's knowledgeable, she's been in network marketing, she's a success in network marketing, and she has had an income. And so she had serious questions, just like I did, just like others, just like Wayne, many of us that have developed those skills, attitudes, and techniques already. See, there's a difference. Some of you that are new, and here, I'm going to be blatantly honest with everybody tonight, that especially if you're new. If you've never made a six-figure income in network marketing yet, you do not know how to do it. I'm just, can I be honest with you? You do not know how to do it. You might think you do, but you do not. So what you have to do is be teachable and coachable. Systems work better than anything else in the world. It's kind of like franchises. Do you know why McDonald's is so successful? They have this little recipe and you cannot deviate. You can't put a little extra ingredient on that hamburger just because you want to in your franchise. No, not allowed. You have to buy the French fries from where their supplier. You can't buy it from where you want to. You have to follow that recipe precisely with no deviation, because everything comes out the same everywhere around the world. Well, to be very successful in network marketing, I learned that that's what you had to do too. You had to treat it like big business. You have to treat it, and when Winona, let me talk directly to you. You're our newest member, and congratulations, you're an associate. Fabulous. You're qualified to make a $500 check right now. Okay, that means when you have 500 volume on the left, 500 volume on the right, you get credit for anything that happens on your left team or anything that happens on your right team. It just comes up in your counter. But that's pretty fabulous. Where else can we have that kind of opportunity? So you see, I get excited about that because I know not many people make a $500 check in network marketing. The average person doesn't do that. Yeah. So see, with the knowledge is power sometimes. And so you're going to have learning. And so I'm going to tell you the essence of my whole system. Allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself 2 years to learn the skills, attitudes, and techniques. And through experience, not just videos, that's going out and failing. That's going out and people telling you no, and you don't feel hurt about it. Hey, that's okay. And you don't get in arguments with them about it. You understand that they don't understand what they don't know. And so there is the real situation. They don't understand what they don't know. And if they don't allow you to at least communicate it to them, that's not on you. That's on them. But we have to figure out a way to break that communication barrier with time. And that's the important point, with time. And so I know sometimes you see some people's business just skyrocketing real fast. I mean, gee whiz, all of a sudden they're a silver bar winner, and they've only been in this thing for 48 days and they won the silver bar. How come it's not happening to me? Oh, our focus is in the wrong area. Our focus should be the tortoise. Because see, I know some silver bar winners that are just coppers today. They built it too quick. They built it to just get the silver bar. And they got the silver bar. And if they do it the way I teach it, the way I teach everyone, never spend more money than you're going to make. It's okay to reinvest in your business. I understand that. That's normal business problem. But never spend more money than you're going to make because you get frustrated. Because you'll say, man, I spent all this money and it's not working. Oh, wait a minute. Who made that decision? Okay. And then never encourage people to do that. Okay. That's the other thing. So what I want you to understand is I was not the top income earner in this company for a long time. All of a sudden, out of the blue, just after 3 years, here's Bob. But see, my check stayed consistent. I have more volume that I could get paid on every week. I've shown all of you this. I'm getting 7,000, but I've had 10, 12, 22,000. Well, I'm not getting paid on that because on my other side, I've got 350 grand. So what it means is that we have a solid business built that has a recurring, replicating business that brings volume every week into the business. And that's what I want each and every one of you to do. Why? Here's why I want you to do this. It's because you're sitting right now on the gateway to a global business. 7K has only been in business for 4.5 years. And there's so much growth yet to be done in the 50 United States, including Hawaii, okay? In the United States, we've been open for a little over a year in Canada. And we're just now getting silvers and some bronzes. And we've been open, in the UK and got first silver. But, they didn't make it in 90 days. And they had a wide open opportunity, just like Jim McClellan did, because see, he was the first. He was right there early. But look what is happening to Jim. He has a balanced business on both sides, and he's making not 500 a week. He's not making 1,000 a week. He's a silver. He's not. In fact, he had volume go past him that he could have made. As a silver, you can make 3,500 a week. He's making multiple thousands of dollars every week now. It's a good thing he sowed some seeds, but he knew and he kept in contact and didn't just hang up the phone and didn't, ignore. So this is some real training for every one of you, because see, 7K Hawaii Ohana team is new. You're all new. The team is as young as February 26th, and what we built together as a team. And I want you to understand this gateway to your global business. Winona, this is for you. You're our newest associate. Again, congratulations. And you've got a great team, and you've got some great support and great leadership. And you can out earn any of the people in this business that's on this screen today. You can do that. Because as 7K starts expanding the world, and I am going to share my screen since I have that opportunity, and I want to talk about a little bit about the tool set here while I'm with you. And this is that booklet here that I give the presentation from. And I use this instead of a PowerPoint because it's just easier for me to go through and control when I'm doing a presentation on a Zoom and not have to deal with a PowerPoint like they have the problems in corporate on their Zooms with their PowerPoints. And I've learned that this is the best way. Now, I want you to really understand this comp plan. When your team one, that goes to infinity. That can go to from one island of Hawaii to the next island, to one city on the island, to another city on the island, to Guam, back over to the United States and Oregon, then back over to the big island in Hawaii, and then back over to Florida. And it doesn't matter, it ping pong around the world, goes to infinity. And Winona, you get credit every time somebody joins. Those points come up and accumulate in this counter. And when you have 500 points on this side and 500 points on this side, if you stay an associate, that means you have to have one active on the left and one active on the right. And if you came in with a business family pack, you are in control of that. Now, a lot of people don't know what that means. And I will teach you that independently. Since I post this, I don't, I want people to understand it fully when I say it, that there's no misunderstandings. But you're in actual control of your whole business, the people who come in with a business family. And everyone ends up with a business family pack eventually. And this is a point that I would like every single member of Team Hawaii Ohana to learn, because that is pretty much, it gives the essence of the program, of understanding the comp plan. And so if you're going to end up with it anyway, why not start off with it? Because you're at the top of both your businesses, and so it's learning things like that. But you never force and you never push anyone into that decision. You just give them alternatives and choices and give them information, let them make their decisions. And it's the same thing with joining. Okay. We give information, we let people join where they are at, even though it may not be the right decision, but we let them join where they're at. But we do talk with them. I'm not saying, they make it, you discuss that, but you discuss it with information and not pressure to do one or the other. Okay. And so this will go to Canada, to Taiwan, to Korea, to the Philippines, to France, to Eastern European countries, to India, Indonesia, to Brazil, Argentina, Panama. Are we starting to get the picture? You have a global business. And you need one on your left and one on your right, or one on team one, one team two. That is a partner with you. And if you lose your partner, get you another one. They didn't have vision. They didn't see what you saw. They didn't have those principles of success: persistence, perseverance, patience. See, one day I'll teach about the 7 principles, or the 7 secrets of success. They all come from the Bible, by the way, every one of them. And I haven't done that yet, but I will. And so I really want you to learn that part. And then the other part I want you to learn is that this comp plan is not difficult. And I want you to try and learn what it takes to become a silver right at the beginning. And what I want you to learn is this: what it takes to become an associate. You already did that. One on the left, one on the right. And if you're an associate, you already know what that takes. So how do you become a copper? See, you look one step ahead. How do you become a copper? Well, you got to have 2 people you personally enroll. They signed up on your website and you placed them. If you didn't place them, they're not yours. They're just part of your team. Because people above you will put people under one side of your team eventually, sometime. Okay. And sometimes more frequently. But they have to enroll on your site. You have to talk to them. They enroll, they go in your holding tank, you place them either left or right. So when you have 2 people that you personally introduced to 7K and they become a member and wanted to join the team, then you have 2 people on the left, 2 people on the right, but that doesn't make you a copper. One of these 2 must become an associate just like you did. So you know how to do that. They must have one on their left and one on their right. So, clue. Here's a clue. And that's why I teach a business and family pack. If you came in with a business family pack and you duplicate that process, and the person you first sponsor and place here, they do a business family pack. So they enroll their left and their right. Well, they're an associate. And then you got your part of your business family pack right there. So that's 2 people you personally sponsor because you count 2, like your spouse or your company or your daughter or your son, okay. Then over here, you sponsor a person, they come in like you did, a business family pack, you're an associate. Well, guess what? You got an associate on your left, an associate on your right. You got 2 personals left, 2 personals right. You're a copper. You can make $1,000 now. Oh, that wasn't that hard, was it? And you can be a copper. How do you get to be a bronze? Well, you already know how to be a copper. So you add one more person to your team. Doesn't matter if it's $199, $499, or business family pack. Does not matter. But that one more is your 3rd person on the left. Same thing on the right. 3rd person. One of these 3 must be a copper like you were. Hello. You know how to do that. If they came in with a business family pack, they need one business family pack on their left, one business family pack on their right. As they get individuals, they just place them left and right wherever they need them. Because that's an individual. And you try to help them. But you're looking for a real business partner that has the desire to earn some extra income, the desire to accumulate wealth, the desire to join you and give this a real shot for 2 years. See, 2 years is the key. No complaining, no moaning, positive. That's why I do attitude. And then that's why it's easy to learn how to get to be a silver without trying to figure it all out in advance. Because you add 2 more people, it doesn't matter how they come in, $199, $499 or business family pack on the left side, and for a total of 5 that signed up on your website and you placed them left or right. Same thing on the right side. And one of these 5 must be a bronze, just like you were. You know how to do that because you did it. You became it. You can look at your own back office, and through my teachings of how to use the downline explorer and how to read that and see that, you can actually see yourself as each one of these ranks. And so have patience with yourself to learn how and have the persistence and perseverance to do it. And just know there's always someone there to help you. There's always someone there to help you understand, answer your question, and get your questions answered quickly. Don't belabor over them. Get them answered as quickly as you can. And because that's a dual learning process, because we all end up being helpers and teachers. And that's what I want each of you to know. So that I want you to have this PDF, and I want you to have that booklet. I want you to have a Silver Eagle coin. I want you to have an MS-70 coin as part of your tool set that you pretty much always have with you. And I want you to have 2 other things. I want you to have the benefit wheel. Now, this is in your file vault, in your training center where the file vault is. You have a lot of PDFs that you can download and PowerPoints and things to use to build a business with. But these are all the benefits of membership. Why should a person be a member? They get all these benefits for just $199. This alone, a person should do $199 just to figure it out. Okay? Because they spend that on a meal once a week, somewhere, somehow, with their once a week. Just do it after that meal that you go out and eat once a week. Okay. The other thing I want you to have, now this is the full detailed plan of the comp plan. And notice there aren't many words here because it's truly a 1-page comp plan. So what I went over with the ranks, this is it on a sheet of paper. Always have this with you. Always. Even if it's just black and white print. But I want you to have this, the benefit wheel, your wealth strategies booklet. You get it with your $4.99 membership, even printed with your name, telephone number, website address, and everything, because you can give that entire presentation yourself, just going page by page and learning a few examples that I want you to be able to emphasize. And I'm going to give you those examples right now so you can see them not in video form, but in video form. What I do is I pause the video at very certain points we teach everyone here to play the video. At the Tuesday meeting we do every week, George and I at George's house. When I'm there, I can give a great PowerPoint presentation, but we play the video. And I tell people that. I put the coins in their hand, ask them about the question. We just have a bit, warm with form kind of introduction. I do it different every night. The warm with form introduction that we do on Tuesday nights. And I definitely put some coins in people's hands, and we talk about silver and how much they have or don't have, and gold. And we said we got some good news to share with you on how you can increase your wealth, secure your wealth. And it's information that you haven't been told. And we already know that because we are in the business of helping people learn what they haven't ever learned. Okay? Because it's not taught to us on purpose, by the way. Okay? And so where we stop is that we halt here because, see, that's 2013. So we bring it up to 2021, and in 2021, that dollar bill will not buy a penny's worth of those same goods and services in 1913, yet that 1 ounce silver coin will buy much more than what it bought in 1913 and 2021. That's all you need to say. You don't have to say a amount, just much more, okay? Because then you want to pause at another point. You want to pause here because this is 2018. These are not 7K's numbers. These are the government's numbers, but they don't show them to us this way. How many people's income has increased any of these numbers over that same period of time? Oh, people getting behind her. And we're going to keep getting behind her if we don't do something about it. Einstein said the definition of insanity was keep doing the same thing and expect different results. That's true. And so bring them up to 2021. We all know that food is skyrocketing right now. We all know the government just told us right now we're at 5% inflation rate now. Mainly because of food and gasoline. And we all know these have more than increased since 2018 because they can relate to these. These are the bills that they pay right here. These: water, sewer, food, in, out, heat, cooling, home, car insurance. That they're familiar with. So bring it up to 2021. Just relative. You don't even have to have percentages. Okay. Then I pause here because this is where you make a significant point and bring it up to 2021. This presentation was, by the way, put together about 2 years ago. Okay. Not quite, but that $1 bill and that 1 ounce silver coin in 65 did buy that gallon of milk. And in 2019, like they said, it bought. But the key is we're in 2021. So what does that dollar bill buy in milk in 2021? Will not even buy hardly a taste, a little taste from somewhere that they'll say $1 worth of milk. But in just 2 short years, here we are, 2021, this 1 ounce silver coin will now buy over 7 gallons of milk. Hey, it still increases in buying power. And buying power is what you're interested in. So if you've been holding on to these in the bank, and show it to them, and in your CDs and stuff, then I think you now realize that we're giving you some important information for you to make some really important decisions on. Right here at this point, you say, let's just say in 2019, you had $100 that you kept in the bank, for safety purposes. And here we are in 2021, you may have drawn $1 interest total on that money in that $100. But if you had $100 worth of these silver coins, just for safety purposes, in 2019, look how much they would be worth today in 2021. The gallon of milk shows us. So you don't even have to know the math or the numbers. It's relative. Okay. Now, everybody knows I paused there, but I paused there because it's just part of my story. I graduated from high school in '65. You don't need to pause there, but you do need to pause here. The fact that we have been manipulated, all of us. Stock markets go up, stock markets go down, stock markets go up, stock markets go down. And we have been following like sheep so they can keep getting rich off of it as we buy mutual funds, CDs, IRAs, and we put it in those paper instruments, and they get filthy rich on the commissions as we buy and sell during that process. And some of those stocks and stuff go bankrupt, and then you got zero. But this, they make no money on when we buy it and hold it. The truth is, they do not want you and I to know about that. And so when they tell you, oh, gold and silver, bad investment, you don't want to do that. Well, I just call it, they're just plain out liars. But you can do it any way you want. But I'm qualified to call them a liar because I got a master's in business from LSU and I graduated magna cum laude. And I've swallowed that junk for so many years. After losing so much money in the stock market, I realized that this was not the right thing to do. People can't possibly get rich this way. And so asset accumulation is how you get rich. No, it's not how you get rich. It's how you protect your wealth. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Oh, remember that one. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And so what we do in 7K is to help guide you, if you want to be on our team, on your journey to create and protecting true wealth for you, your family, and your legacy, because you deserve it. And that's what we're here for. And that's what's been happening for the last 4.5 years. And we want you to be a part of what we're doing. And we want you and your family to benefit from it like so many others are. And that we can then in turn help so many others as we go around the world. And you can just stop right there and say, you want to be part of the team. Okay. But, you know, I do stop here because I do read that. And even when I'm out doing a one-on-one with this, I teach people to read that because these are such true statements and it applies to just about everyone. And so, you know, that's why I read it. And then, you know, direct bullion cost is direct bullion cost. You don't get it any lower. And you're getting real product. You're not getting fake on the internet. You're not doing all this. They know nothing about buying gold and silver. The vast majority, otherwise they'd already own it. So when they start asking a whole bunch of questions, say, that's the whole point. You're going to learn. You get the buyer certificate. They're going to teach us all this stuff. They've already been doing it for years, and apparently it's been working. So, I mean, do you want to be in the gold and silver, God's kingdom of economy, or do you want to continue in man's economy and getting ripped off? I mean, that's the choice, okay? And so, the $1.2 million mistake. The key here is the pause. I do stop and I tell them about points there, but I don't tell them what it means other than like airline mileage, you can accumulate and get free points. I mean, you can get enough points, you get a free airline ticket. Well, hold on to that thought. Just know this is 15 points, 20 points, 30 points. That's all you need to know. Okay. the sound money wallet, a little pause here, is to make sure people understand they can buy incremental. They can buy $10 worth of a gold coin. That's a $2,000 coin, 1 ounce. Even at cost. Never before could anybody buy $10 a day or $10 a week or $10 a month. But now you can. So everyone can afford to own gold and silver now for the first time in history. Now they can buy $10 a week in silver. That's $40 coin. So it take 4 weeks to get 1 ounce for people who that's all they can afford, $10 a week to put away. It's better to put it in silver than it is in that paper, right? We already determined that. And then the other place that I really kind of pause a little bit is to understand this concept. You get 25 people eventually on this team, and they're just buying on average 20 points in that auto ship to be active, to get their 1099 benefit. I mean, you got to do something in a business to be profitable. You got to make a commitment. So yeah, you're making a commitment at least to join and buy 1 coin a month for 2 years. 2 years. If you got a business family pack, it's up to you if you're going to buy coins on all 3, but you don't have to, but you got to buy yours. And then if you need to make an active and it pays for itself, then that's a no-brainer, right? So we'll come to that later. Okay, not in a presentation. We come to that later. Okay, I'm doing training of how to give this presentation. Okay, and when you get here, you've got people to support you. You got 3 ways that you can make. You got calls that you can make. You got a great team right there in Hawaii. And then you got George and I backing you up back here. And then learn how to use the tools that we have, the videos that are available to you on your app. You like the little short videos, and I call that follow-up videos. People who have interest, they need follow-up information, and that's what's really important in in building a business. Now, tool set again. Have a full 1 ounce silver eagle coin on you all the time. Ladies, in your purse. Okay. Men, in your pocket. Okay. Have a dollar bill. And if y'all know me, I always have this on me all the time. I may not have it on me all the time, but it's always with me, always readily accessible, either in my briefcase, the car, or near easily obtained. And if I'm going in a restaurant or something, guess what? I bring with me when I'm meeting someone. And I just bring it. If the moment, if the opportunity arises, I have it to be able to share. And with me, the opportunity is always going to arise. But with you, you may have a little reluctance in the beginning, but you shouldn't. Okay? You should do like me. The opportunity is always going to arise, because I'm going to point blank sometime in that discussion, take that silver coin and put it on the table, put it in their hand and say, do y'all know what that is? And then I'm going to ask them how much silver and gold they have. And I'm going to ask them the importance, if they don't have any, or they're reluctant to answer. I'll say, well, do you realize the importance of having that instead of having this, dollar bills? And there we're going to start a conversation. And then I pull this little thing out and I go to the important pages, not the whole thing, page by page. I go to the important pages, that graph where your dollar deteriorates to nothing. Picture tells 10,000 words. I go to the milk picture okay? And the cost page, I go to the important bit. The ones I just pointed out to you where I pause and bring it up to date, those are the ones I go to. And then I say, hey, you want to get more information? Would you like me to send you an executive summary video that'll give you a little bit more info, unless they already are interested. So I just gave you how to do a coffee shop or meeting a quick lunch presentation to somebody, or even if you're visiting with a friend, relative, or whatever, just like that. Don't make it hard, but learn to be caring in what you say. Because if you believe this, it will shine through, as Kool-Aid says. It's going to shine through. And your sincerity will do the selling, because you don't need to do the selling. The product sells itself. The company sells itself for the way it presents it, the way it does it. It is different. It is a membership model. It is a Costco. It is a Amazon Prime. And so 2 years, have fun, accumulate wealth, learn everything about collecting coins, and don't be so, let's say, just full of these questions about what's the value. Everybody wants to know this value, that value. That's not what's important. What's important is accumulating wealth. And so let me end this by doing this. I'm gonna share my. I'm gonna put it on speaker view, okay? And I'm gonna show what I was showing to. Let's see. I thought I could do this. I have where I have different background. Can I? Let me just see if I can put it. Gallery view, full screen, speaker view. Can I do full screen here? Now, somebody else is there instead of me. Well, am I the main person on the screen? Somebody chat with me or say something down there. Or, raise your hand if I'm the only one on, if I'm here. Or do you see a great big L in the middle? Because I want to make this effective. I'm gonna choose my virtual background as I was doing. And so, I have different backgrounds. I have the Lady Liberty coin back here, and then I could choose the 7K, the very first unique coin in July of 2017, July 29th. I presented that at the conference that we had. And then, we have our little logo of 7K. I also have the White House that I could use as a. This is the second very unique coin that we had. We also had the Spider-Man Homecoming series. We had exclusivity on all the remaining of these coins, and I mean they sold out like hotcakes. I mean that's quite a coin. I don't know if. I hope everybody can see that. But when we're talking about just silver, I mean, we have silver. I mean, we can do a silver and silver and silver because you need to have this. That has everybody, the talk is, what silver will be. And so everybody has to make their own decisions, how much gold they want, how much silver. Well, we can't tell them that. And then, of course, our favorite coins, the American Eagle Silver 1 ounce coin and the American Eagle Gold coin, the most renowned coins in the world. And then when we're going to have some training about blast off and launch into the next country, I'm ready to give some trainings with our rocket blast off and back as we go countdown, 3, 2, 1, launch, And so we're going to have some fun with this as we build up, and I'm just getting more and more tools to start having fun with our 7K, and then I'll end with this one. For those of you that are a member of 7K, And even if you never sponsored a person, like I have a few people that did that, within a year or so, you'll end up with an array of products like this. Now, you get 1099 tax benefits. Where else would you accumulate and store up wealth and then have the opportunity to make money? And you're learning how. And then, you know what? I've never had anyone that's been with me over 2 years that's not made a check. Hello. There's a clue. And so that will be with every one of you. And then those that are there long enough, they build up volume. They have a bank account. And as I tell people all the time, all you need to do is find a person who finds a person, who finds a person, who finds a person. That person starts making a $500 check, you're going to make $1,000. Because they're building up 500 points on the left, 500 points on the right. That's coming up as they build it up. You'll get your 500, then you'll get you another 500. That's 1,000. They do that. They start making a $500 check every week, and maybe you never even sponsored them. But it's a person who sponsored a person who sponsored a person, and you did, and you accumulated wealth all the time. Never lose vision, never lose hope, because this is your greatest opportunity to accumulate wealth, preserve wealth, help others do the same, help others understand, and share the vision with everyone you know over and over and over again. Be persistent, but don't be a pest. Learn how and be pleasant. Thank you for your time and attention. And I hope you see what I see. And I want to try and stop this screen share and stop my recording.